and he was talking about how, the experience they had down there, and he says it is like something you've never seen, and he goes, just, he says, be on your A game because this thing is going to go fast, and it's he says that's one thing you have to see.
Yeah, it really isn't. I'm talking with everyone that's been there. It is one of those shows, you thought Bakersfield was intense. This is intense. This is going to be on constantly going.
Well, that's it. Is like when you've got 160 cars at Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And it's nonstop.
Go,
from qualifying to the feature. I can't imagine. Well, and I was talking to Dustin today. He was in here actually earlier. We were talking about some things, and he was saying that they run 20 car heats.
Yeah.
20 car heats, 15 laps.
That's huge.
That's a feature at some tracks.
I know.
Mean, a 20 car heat race. I have never seen anything like that.
No.
Warbus is back. He's back. So get your mic. And have you ever seen a 20 car heat race?
Nope.
What are you doing? You've never seen a 20 car heat race?
A 20-car heat race? No.
I haven't either. That's what Dustin says is going on down here for this show that we're going to.
It's going to be intense.
He says you have to run 15 laps or more just to give everybody a real shot to win this thing. And
they have the one and done rule.
Well, that's a scary thing right there because on a track that goes, he was saying this track does go slick.
Goes dry slick. It can go. It has been known to go rough.
That's what I've been hearing from a lot of people. It's just the rough. And that's, like you said, if you go to now you're on the page right now. It's the Duel in the Desert Facebook page.
Yeah, IMCA Duel in the Desert.
And they're seriously, they've got the heavy equipment out. They're bringing in, how many truckloads did you say, Josh? 120 truckloads of new
120,
clay.
yeah, 120.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
And then from the pictures they posted, they posted today, they still got quite a bit of work ahead of them.
Yeah, they spent 3 solid days on the grader, it looks like.
Well, they say that they're going to be all the way until basically practice. I mean, the day before, they're still going to be in, even during the Wednesday morning to Wednesday afternoon is when they say that they're possibly – I mean, everything has to be, tilled in. I mean, you're talking about a half-mile track.
Right.
You're talking 80-foot wide turns and I think it's 68 or 70-foot wide straightaways.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that
are they putting most of the clay in the corners?
Is
that
yeah,
it's kind of what I'm looking at.
It's going. My understanding is it's going from 20 feet each way. So 20 feet entrance all the way through the turn, 20 feet out. You start looking at the bottom to 3/4 up. The top has not an issue. That's not the issue. Everybody runs the bottom. Everybody then tears the bottom up, then they go to the middle. Everybody tears the middle up, then everybody pushes high. Well, the problem is that by the time day number 4 is, you don't have much of anything to go to because you talk about day 1, they have a ton. They race a ton. Practice, qualifying.
Right.
Thursday they come around. You got B mains, you qualifying B mains, heat races, and then you go into the Friday and Saturday.
Shows,
and you talk. Again, it's 240 something already pre-entered. It was 278 just last year for A-mods. 278 cars. That's just A-mods. It's not on top of the Northern Sport mods.
Right.
So when you talk about 200 plus on G60 tires, and then you have another probably 100 and something for Northern Sport mods on G60 tires, in 4 days of that.
Yeah.
In the heat, and then it gets cold as hell at night.
Right.
It is a known fact that it's going to be.
Well, and that's kind of what you just said kind of spurred something that I read today. And some of the, I guess, drivers from out of town that are regulars here at this show talking about track conditions were saying that part of the problem was, and again, I'm not a track specialist. I don't put racetracks together. I don't do what Chris does. I will not claim to be an expert on this situation at all. But they were saying that with the temperature change and what happens at night compared to during the day, that they were overwatering the track. And part of the problem was it was upsetting the base, the foundation dirt that the clay is on. And that's kind of why things were getting so tore up, was because it was actually moving under the clay surface.
Well, and you've got to think, when you start talking about building a track, you've got to start with the foundation, then build it up. Because the surface you're racing on is not what's down for 20 feet underneath that. I mean, you're going to have different layers and different soil types. crop or soil science is a huge thing. Farmers have been trying to master it for years. Dirt track guys, well, we just go out there and run laps.
Well, the thing about that that's surprising, though, is you look at the desert ground out there in Vegas. I mean, I've lived there twice, and it's hard. Mm-hmm. It is hard ground. So to get that stuff to move around under you, I mean, you've got to put a lot of water under that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not really. If you think about it, if you've got, in the agriculture industry, we call it a plow pan. It's hard, deep compaction. So typically, and, easiest way to describe it is you have your top couple inches, which is hydraulically compacted in a field. That's from just your rainfall. Then you have a layer that's between 2 and 8 inches down, and that's light compaction. That's 25 pounds of compaction. When you start going 8 to 15 inches down, that's what they call the plow pan, and that's got 400 plus pounds.
That's hard.
That's hard. That's where the dirt, you don't work the dirt. That's where you don't plow it. That's where you don't rip it.
Right.
And what actually happens when the water hits that is it goes in through the first two layers, the hydraulically compacted and the uncompacted soil, hits that plow pan, and then goes sideways.
It disperses sideways.
It disperses sideways, so it actually doesn't soak through through the plow pan.
So it stays under those first couple of layers, keeping it soft. Well, I can see why they're saying that.
And then now you have the shifting. You've got 8 inches of soil shifting on top of the plow pan.
And who thought it wouldn't pay to have a farmer on the show?
Old McDonald.
But you know what? That makes sense. I mean, I had no idea. I had no idea that's what it is. And,
well, you think about it too and stuff. If you think about, I said and stuff. If you think about,
he got it.
If you think about back east in New York, that half-mile track that the open modifieds and stuff run,
which is now shut down.
Yeah, but that's tight. I mean, you're lucky enough you get 2 wide down the straightaways, right, and then maybe 3 wide, and it's really, really flat. You get to Vegas and it has somewhat of banking. It's fast. It's going to start off fast. The first 2 days are going to be your Achilles heel. You talk about one and done. Qualifying's huge there. If you don't qualify good and you have to start in the back and you have to go through transfer races.
Well, talking with Dustin, he says the pill draw is the biggest thing.
The pill draw is the biggest thing. I was actually talking to Steve Fenmeyer and the 50 car, and he sat there and he's actually getting ready. This is actually his first time going to the Duel of the Desert. He actually went down in March and raced a couple times, had some electrical problems, had some fuel issues.
So he's got a feel for the track.
He does. Now, Billy Wormsbecker, he has sat there and he's in the 33 car. Like I said, he's from Big Bear, California. He's going down. I believe this is his second or third time down there. Didn't really have the outcome that they wanted, but he's got a brand new car to him. Steve's got a good car. They're gearing up. They're ready to go. I talked to Steve for about a half hour, 45 minutes last night. He says that he's got a good shot to make it into the A's. As long as they can stay out of trouble, as long as they can sit there, because you only get 3 sessions when you first get there on Wednesday.
But the session's only 3-4 laps.
6 laps.
Oh, they are 6 laps.
They are 6 laps.
Okay, I was told it was 3.
No, you actually get 6 laps. Now it could change from there, but last year it was, from my understanding, it was 6 laps.
Okay, but think about it. You've got 6 laps.
But you have 3 times to go off for 6 laps. So you have basically 18 laps to try to figure out. But on top of that,
not a lot of time.
But on top of that, check this out. You're not out there just with A mods. You're out there with sport mods also.
So, and you think about that. Okay, so you're talking 18 times around a half-mile track. You have 9 miles to figure out how to drive.
Yeah. Good luck.
Have you? How many miles does it take for you to learn how to drive a stick?
I don't know. I started driving a semi truck when I was probably 10, but my car probably, I don't know. It took a little bit.
See, it's.
But it's just. But that's kind of like apples and oranges, from driving a stick compared to, racing a half mile, it's 2 different things when you think and talk about it.
That is true.
That, you got some of these guys, we were talking about Bobby Hogue last night. Okay. Look who won last year. You got Scott who won last year. Okay. Scott actually went and led it at the beginning of, the 2015, led the A main. Okay. At that time had a little bit of issue and went back, fell back into second, came back up because that driver had a front suspension issue or whatever, and actually came back and won it. You're talking about $7,777.77. I mean, that's a big chunk of change.
That's a huge chunk of change.
Absolutely.
But this is the thing, too, is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it racy enough that it's not the guys who start out front are going to win this thing. Because realistically, you start out front, you probably got a 90% chance that you're going to win it unless something breaks or you get into traffic or whatever. I mean, it's short laps, but it's a half mile and it's fast and anything can happen. With that said, that's a reason for this new dirt, is try to make it racier, try to make it more easier to be able to pass people on the high side if you want to pass people on the high side. If you want to, try
on
to...
a half-mile track, pass on the high side, I don't care. That's a hard thing to do when you got a guy that's fast on the bottom. He's got the shorter way around.
Well,
now, it's got to have no traction down there if you're going to be on the high side blowing by somebody.
Well, you think about it, too, is that, again, you got the crate killers, and then you got the crates.
Yep.
That's been the huge, huge dilemma with IMCA is who's going to come out. We all know that up in my area, Banks, Rob Ireland's coming down, and he's got a crate killer. Mm-hmm. He's coming down.
Well,
you got
so is Ricky Thornton Jr., we're told.
Right? You got Steve, that is coming from California. That's got, that's from the Valley. That's got a crate. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 crates. And he's got an open motor. So he's bringing them all with him. But, I mean, you got to think about it. Is like, what is actually really going to win? Crates have been kind of the dominant, and they've won. But you get a good enough track, get a tacky enough track, forward bite is what it's going to take.
Well, that's it. Forward bite. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the new service. Man, just when the show starts really getting into a groove and rolling, we got to go to a commercial. We're going to come right back in about 3.5 minutes. You guys, thank you for listening to Northwest Dirt News here from the Jetstream Aqua Massage Studio. We'll be right back in 3 and 35.
Hi, I'm Corey with my wife Sandy. We'd like to invite you to Jetstream Aqua Massage. At Jetstream, you get a quality massage, nobody touches you, and you don't get wet. Best of all, it's only $1 per minute. Come see what it's all about.
I've been coming in here about 3 times a week for the last 6 months, and it's just a whole new world when I walk out of here. I highly recommend this place. $20 for 20 minutes, unbeatable.
Cracker's Cars, located in Lebanon, Oregon. We've been providing the finest pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, RVs since 1983. Cracker's Cars has been in business for 31 years, offering quality used vehicles. With our experience and professionalism and the no-hassle buying, customers really do come first here at Cracker's Cars. Cracker's Cars, where quality is the difference. Give us a call, 541-258-2175, or look us up on the web at crackerscars.com for a full line of inventory. And make sure you mention that you heard it here on Northwest Dirt News. Are you tired of low wages? Have you ever thought about getting a commercial driver's license? Then let Northwest Trucking Academy, located in Tanz, Oregon, be your source. Earn up to $800 to $1,200 a week. At Northwest Trucking Academy, our trained instructors are ready to help you make the transition towards the road. In as little as 4 weeks, you can have the skills it takes for a new career. Classes begin on the first Monday of every month, so give us a call at 541-248-3461 or look us up on the web at nwtruckingacademy.com. And make sure you let them know that you heard it right here on Northwest Dirt News.
At Tommy's Transmission, professional, reliable service is more than just our tagline. It's our way of life. We're your one-stop shop. At Tommy's, we take care of you just like family, because we live here, right here in your neighborhood. Fixing cars is what we do, but keeping you on the road and keeping your family safe is what we're about. No matter what you drive, at Tommy's Transmission, we'll provide the security your family needs. At Tommy's Transmissions, where professional, reliable service is guaranteed. Remember, at Tommy's Transmission, home of the good guys, off of Baseline in Hillsboro, 503-746-7891. And make sure you let us know that you heard it right here on Northwest Dirt News.
the coolest station online.
Yeah, that's us.
Cause we play
this.
In your face, all over the place.
We're online 24/7. 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest.